Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrab here, and coming at you with a game that I've already done before. This is Stork versus Sacsri from MST Group 10, and if you haven't seen the video that I was going to put up or anything else, there's basically a thing on YouTube that you can do where you can do closed captioning and you can do transcribe audio, and it will automatically try and figure out what the audio is saying. So what I decided to do is watch my own commentary muted and read the text that it thinks I'm saying from my original commentary and upload that as well. So without further ado, hopefully it'll be pretty lol. Let's get into it, and I'm going to start reading what it's actually transcribing from what I said from before. So, really the whole idea that we've seen only him, the all I've only seen in these, in practice matches, the math test matches, but they didn't really truly sessions, where they basically teams threw out their strengths. You have to stay here and do the 4 weeks now matches. Of that, they had the test the maps to see which map they wanted to keep actually literally, and that was kind of happened between the Pro League season. To buy time to discuss some of the sort of Star Trek going on, well, the real killers to go free. And so it really was one of those players they still didn't even use terribly well. I mean, there was someone that I team players and there's some and your players and in that sense in the US. It actually did not that well in that so. We'll see Williams' lawyer in store for going for Nancy. It's not sex and violence. And I would start rescue coming up here. The use of force. There's a lot more comfortable coming into the community, some trying to actually, she's right, let's have a listen here, in the morning family, so, and I've always had a real new family, obviously, but I don't read have language that you know. Two of the people that have never seen before, hopefully, and understands the deficit natural tension. That's kind of weird, it's kind of weird term, and so we're trying changes on a situation to stay on. His closest expansion, the plaintively saying it. When I first started watching, officials are half that number. Seen. Because this country is viewed, he's would refer to he is happening nothing. What is she? You don't know what she's making and watching sarcastic talking about you know what it means. The police are, not she's the lines for his plan is something and it is going on. Now the idea is for clean energy we don't use them as tools, pocket very, very thin. In between and Thailand, forging King Live, she says she's the right to put behind the delay. And we want to do. He's actually gotten why he's actually gone down. The Nexus immediately down before the candy scattered early at Saw there. Know him in leads. He's be careful with their Harleys, more thing. And well, maybe not. Now, maybe not. And I mean, he's got his probe over there, and I believe it's 1 billion. The probe's still harassing, and he's the only from coming to so. Senator's single can cheese just that. He can see that there's not a lot of forces coming in. His factories can it or plan, and he sees the single cannon can more thing. And might be thinking that it's not the city, but he's making a lot of these observations, is going very, very, he's trying to have you here. And really the economy and for national interest, prove stop. Whoa. I have never seen that before. Stopped paying attention and he was paroled and let it die. That is unprecedented. So maybe Store is not filled with he was a century may have a chance against the almighty Store. Theoretically, this game is what transfers on his game is something that's what we restore. He has from the best Wolf. Let's ask you in the game. Clinton's is the name of dead. Yeah, I think it is like this. This doorway. First or defense. This nap has a Y at it. Should point there. And we see a lot of revise the very successful because it's almost impossible some to build a key witness for Jin and have a block of the gap. So goodbye. Putting its is that way, but there is always that way. Now the cap, instead of being forwarded, now the cap to 7 forward towards the outside narrow the gap. that the winds would have to squeeze is actually you decided that door and it's small. It is between the campaign and the Nexus. Actually a really beautiful door there, and Stores selling it in the other of a second. For a minute he does see a lot of things, up probe, and so you know he's there. That actually is making lots of certain things. How is this the last time? I know we're not sure why he didn't do it. The head of the forest, in one word, that he knows he's coming down here. And what is this guy out? He's got but everything out of the societies and single can flanked by his allies. Beautifully done. The incident, and that would have killed other players should it not build their doors as well as a eye. And say that from Atlanta with the firm experience is an experience that myself, an action film is not personal and it will play well. No, he described his hospital after all. Um, Although he didn't find it in mind alive who was alive, was this, oh yeah, but I've seen that can happen a lot reason by first Ross is on this map and for great success. And this is now operating, but Lou, if he's at least heard about that word that there's now, we did not see it as a celebration that seat. They started to announce that this is a separate good range, and is going to come out was just uses us and try and make a tiny attack while factories heating up in the field is widely considered. Serenity going back now, but yet he is of the normal, those reserves on this kind of situation. He said, get their census out, and for it, the hatchery in any votes there in the way in prison calling the Heineken really protects extremely well. It is a lot of zealous, and that's exactly what Sex is doing, upsetting up. Sushi is not going to expect. Pat. Of mass attack, which is the Hemite. He's going to come out of the city of Scourge. He says 5, no Stargate. He's the spots it and he knows is coming out, so he's got to worry. I see that it's not, but he may be listened to 5 or 6 years, a few zealots as well, all right. Almost finished upgrading to get their teeth into the hope. The way at those units, as any units only gets there, he sees it at start of the end and sees it if you just think it's the right thing. He was about, because it's not a higher level as in many days. There's a good reason for, you can't take away that has really done any. The guard rival for the simple reason, even afterwards, the 70s are coming to us and have basically been a traitor because Thaskin has nothing to do against Stork's good idea, and he said, sources they have lied as view is past. Real issues is right about that with the kids. Think of the Cheyenne. Take a break, and program is the single central. And I think he's government is the defense. Actually, news is the main base. Now from sources probes has arrived. In this case, there is going to have disease. The confident that his name is that. Such reasoning really hard for us to get reelected. Amnesia's in the way, and them, and as a citizen, and it's really a lot worse than it is for Ken, his natural. Answer yes. Working at least, keep his closet the expansion days. I live, the other is right, and when attacking there as well. So starting, this is the second glow for trade here up the thought can fight off lovers. Are the first of at least 20 times he started. While pledging to start as listed as these, other than it is a story. Really, Johnny on the spot here is going to look like this obsolete. I think this is Perot's reading. Yes, this is for a criminal matter. So she started right now, and he said it will fight out eventually. Does not have archives. It is not clear, though, the archives. I think Store is going to take stand. Yes, he's still a firm budget. Is, and I know of targets, very scared, right? He does get a couple, of course, out. He's got in the city, and it is over for centuries. So, I'm going to switch back to normal here just to finish this off. This is just insane. I had to kind of fudge things a little bit there if I skipped a word or something like that. I apologize. It's not going to be completely but hope you get an idea for how wacky the closed captioning transcription is. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. GG.